that education makes you free. And then we are going to focus on that listening process now. So before we ever do a listening test, the teacher will tell you that, that we're doing a listening test today, and she might even tell you what the theme of the listening test is. And then you could maybe discuss it in class. So our listening test today is about it's about a small town in the Cape Province. And then the first thing you see here is they say, voorspel die inhoud van die tekst. This is literally where you can maybe think what the text will be about. So you could maybe guess what town it may be, and then what type of things they will explain to us about this town. Then we must talk about the theme. It's more or less the same as the first one. So we literally talk about the theme, and then the theme, as I said, then being a small town that we're discussing. And then identificeer na watter spesifieke inligting jy moet luister. So this is also just, I almost want to say a guessing game, however it is not, where you literally think about what type of information you think you would listen to. So if we're talking about a small town, you're perhaps going to listen. I'm sorry for that. You're perhaps going to listen to something about dates or something about the town, the history of the name, the history of the town itself. So that's stuff you should probably listen to. Then the second thing is tydenslees. So this is the things that you do while you're reading. Or listening, sorry. So here you're listening for specific information. Again, it feels like I'm repeating myself, but that is actually what a listening test is. So you're literally listening at for specific information. Then, while you're listening, it's important to make notes, because after the listening process, then you are supposed to actually see whether you can remember or understand stuff. Nou hierso staan, lewer nou bewys dat jy die teks verstaan. So that is proof. The notes that you make is actually proof that you understand what the text is about. And then, of course, sometimes questions that they ask in a listening or comprehension test for that side is not just literally stuff that you should remember from the text. It's also a bit where you should think a bit further than what you have listened to. And this is why they say maak afleidings en dink na oor die inhoud. So you listen for the content and you listen for specific content, but it's also important to note that you may have to answer questions where it's not a direct answer from the text, but it is an answer that is expected of you to listen or to think about the content. All right, so that is tydensluister. After you've done the listening, after you've listened to the text, then you will be presented with questions, and then the notes that you've made can almost be a summary of the information that you have written down. Then again, dink krities na oor wat jy gehoor het, guys. It is important not just to give literal information from the text. It is important again to think about what you've heard. Perhaps there was a clue in there that could help with another answer, or that could enhance your understanding of the topic. And then of course, yeah, so the lesson then of course today is ons gaan na this is 'n pre-luister aktiwiteit. Ons gaan na 'n insetse luister van die TV-program Pasella. Now many years ago, I'm not sure if it's still there today, there was an SABC2 a program called Pasella, and they would visit towns and talk to interesting people and so on and so forth. And one of these insetsels that they did was in a dorpie called Tesselaarsdal. So they visited the small town in the Cape Province, Tesselaarsdal. And I want to know from you two, because I see, oh, welcome Nosipo. All right, so I want to hear from you two. Have you ever heard of the town Tesselaarsdal in the Cape Province? Have you ever heard of that? Okay, so Nosipo says, no, I haven't heard about that town before. And Raiden, have you perhaps heard of Tesselaarsdal before? I must be honest, Nasipo, I've also never ever heard of Tesselaarstaal, but you'll read in the, if you'll hear now when we do the listening comprehension that they actually mention there, that it's not even on a map in South Africa. Sometimes it's such a small town that it's sometimes forgotten to put on a map. Morning at here, so we've done the listening process so far. And because it's a long video, I'm not going to go back. You guys should really pitch for class on time. It's already 5 past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the listening test to you guys. Because the video quality is so bad, I want to play to you 3 times. So the first time just to listen. The second time we're going to focus on the questions and you can make notes. And then the last time just for that last little bit of information. So I'm going to play to you 3 times. Please don't focus on the visual aspects. Focus on the listening of the test. Okay. Then, so Ray, so we're doing a listening comprehension on a small town, Tesselaarstaal in the Cape Province. It is a very small town, and I've asked the kids whether they've ever heard of it, and Osepu said no. Now I'm going to ask you three a question. Would you like to ever live in a small town? A very small town that's sometimes forgotten about. Adis, I'm so sorry I'm late, and I'm so sorry I wasn't about. It's okay, relax. I understand stuff happens, guys. Morning, Boole. Okay, all right. So, would you ever want to live in a small town like that, where nobody has ever heard of the town? Think of fiber, guys. Do you think there's fiber in a town like that? No, ma'am. Okay, I must be honest. I think when I'm very older, I would love to live. I would love to live in a small town. Ma'am, it's no. Yeah. Sorry, Adis. I know, but I saw Bule just joined. That's why I said hi, Bule. All right. Hi. Morning, Kai. Guys, you should pitch for class on time. Now, poor Raiden have to listen to the entire thing again. I'm still waiting for Princess. Usually she's here on. She's also a bit late. So let's just give a minute and then we'll go on. I just want to see if somebody else pitches so that I can go back again. Poor Raiden, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to go back. If somebody else pitches now, I don't know. And then I'm just going to quickly explain it to them. So for those who only joined now, so we're doing a listening comprehension, and I'm going through the listening process, but I'm going to go through it very quickly now because Raiden, I don't want him or her to sit here for hours and listen to the same stuff. So pre-listening is where you literally talk about the content. So that's exactly what we did now when I asked the guys about Tesselaarstaal town. Then it's also important that you that you realize that you should listen for specific information. While we are listening, again, listen for specific information, make notes. That would be a proof that you understood the text. And then mark afleidings en dink na oor die inhoud, which refers to the fact that perhaps you won't get questions. Perhaps there will be questions in the listening comprehension, which is not literally answers from the text, but a question where you should perhaps make your own assumptions about the text. After we've done the text, you have listened to it, you will get questions, and then you have to use that notes that you made as a way of maybe getting answers. And then always dink krities na oor wat jy gehoor het, guys. So think about what you've heard. Maybe the one question leads to the following question, something like that. Okay, then I've asked the guys if you've ever heard of Tesselaarstaal before, and Nosipo said no. And then I asked whether some of you would actually like to live in a small town. So now that you're all here, Tesselaarstaal is a very small town in the Cape Province, and it's so small and that sometimes it's not even recognized on a a map of South Africa. It's a very small town, and I was asking, and only Nosepo answered, is there any one of you that would like to live in a small town like that? Or that perhaps already lives in a small town like that? Let's hear the answers there. Does any one of you live on in a small town? Anyone? Okay, so Nosipo says nope. Okay, all right, guys. As I've said before, I live in Randburg, and we've got fiber. I'm so very privileged to have that. And I would love to live in a small town if I'm much older, but not now. I like internet. Okay, so let's go on. So I'm going to play the listening test to you now. So the video in the PowerPoint doesn't work, so I have to go onto the website quickly and get the video there, and then you're going to listen. Please, this first time you're listening, Nosipo, I would die. Yeah, it's funny. Okay, so I'm going to play it to you quickly. Don't make any notes now. Just listen to it. Then I'm going to check the questions with you guys. Then we listen to it again so that you can make notes. Okay, so let us then listen to this video quickly. Just a reminder, it is a horrible quality video. You won't actually see much, but listen to what I'm saying. And I'm going to put it on now. There you go.
In die berge tussen Caledon, Napier en Hermanus rus 'n dorpie so sag op die oog dat ons sy naam wil fluister. In die regte wêreld maak Teslaasdal deel van die Teewaterskloof area in die Oeverberg uit. En bly daar nie regtig kabouters of voetjies nie. Wel, nie wat ons gesien het nie.
Die dorpie is so weggesteek dat dit op party landskaarte glad nie eens verskyn nie. Maar ek durf in elk geval vandag die grondpaaie in Teslaasdal aan om uit te vind wie en wat hier wegkruip.
Die area is 'n opkomende wyn, olyf en laventelbosstreek en die dorpie het net 'n klein winkeltjie vir basiese noodsaaklikhede en 'n drankwinkel. Met slegs sowat 2000 inwoners is hier meestal skaars 'n beroering te bespeur. Tog is dit naweke effe meer besig omdat dit deel van die Cape Country meander is, wat al hoe meer besoekers hier langs lei. Joy Paulsen is in die dorp gebore en getoe en beywer haar om die interessante slawegeskiedenis te bewaar.
Joy, Teslaasdal is vernoem na 'n Nederlandse settelaar. Wie was hierdie man?
Hy was Johannes Jacobus Teslaar. En hy is gebore 1748 en hy was 'n luitenant in die Kaapse Korps en as beloning het hulle vir hom 2 plase gegee, Hartbeesrivier en Steenboksrivier.
Teslaar word beskou as die eerste grondbaron van die Oeverberg. Hy en sy vrou Alida was kinderloos en het die plaas Hartbeesrivier aan hul slawe nagelaat. Steenboksrivier is deur Johannes se broerskinders geërf. Joy het Charlene intussen geneem na 'n 1861 slawegraf.
Hoe het julle geweet dat dit die grafte van slawe is?
Want die slawe het geleef en gewerk in daai tyd in die 1861. By die graf het ek dit gevind en dit is die kettinge. Hierdie is 'n goeie bewys wat ek vir jou gee dat dit wel slawe was wat hier is.
Joy maak seker dat die begrafplaas netjies bly en so word geskiedenis bewaar. Met die vestiging van 'n poskantoor in 1930 het die plaas Hartbeesrivier Teslaasdal geword. Charlene is nou by die St. Barnabas Anglikaanse Kerk wat een van 9 kapelle in die groter gemeente is. Hul moederkerk, die Holy Trinity, is in Caledon.
Dit is so 'n mooi kerkie, maar ek sien nou daar oor jou skouer die kerkklok. Dis 'n ongewone plek vir 'n klok om te sit.
Ja, kyk, die kerk is in 1939 gebou hier en die mense het nie eintlik die gereedskap gehad om die kerkklok op 'n gewone plek te sit nie. Hier was nou nie 'n aparte toring nie en toe het hulle nou sommer maar daar gesit waar dit nou is.
Die oorspronklike bankies van Amerikaanse greinhout dien steeds as sitplek vir die sowat 70 lidmate wat Sondag hier erediens hou.
Salien het 'n afskrif van die diens wat in 1939 gehou was om die kerk in te huldig.
Ek sien is geopen deur die aartsbiskop van Kaapstad.
Ja, die was in die 1939, 11 Junie. En my ma was ook nog teenwoordig by daardie diens en sy het vir ons vertel hoe wonderlik was dit geweest daardie dag om hulle eie kerkie te hê.
Behalwe 'n nuwe orgel wat in die 80's van die Middelton gemeente gekom het, is die enigste verandering in die kerk die verkryging van 'n altaar. Dorpies soos Teslaasdal word dikwels 'n plek waar stadsbewoners kom vrede vind, veral oor naweke. Charlene is op pad na die huis van Bonnie Jewel. Sy het as rekenaartegnoloog gewerk voordat sy hierheen getrek het. In 2004 het sy haar eie unieke huis begin bou deur van strooiklei gebruik te maak.
Is jy besig om klei te trap?
Ja, die sand en die klei en strooi en water.
So dis die mengsel waarmee jy bou.
Ja, die klei komt van net achter hier zo. En die sand is van die pad af. En die kalk ook. En die water is van die dam af. En die strooi is van die boeren hier zo nabij. En dan heeft ons ook die palen om die structuur in te zetten. En dan bouw ons dit rond die palen in. Tussen die palen ook. Het wordt zo hard als cement en dan zetten we ons ook die bouwkalk op, zodat die water niet het weg was nie.
Waarvoor staan hierdie B? Bonnie's Place.
Nee, bierboot. Jy moet net wees.
Ek het nou baie lekker gespeel, Bonnie, maar ek gaan jou nou toelaat om net te wees in jou huis.
Strooiklei reguleer temperatuur goed. Dit beteken die huis is warm in die winter en koel in die somer. Strooiklei is vuurvas, goedkoop, ekologies vriendelik en reeds in prehistoriese tye gebruik vir konstruksiewerk. Teslaasdal is ook die tuiste van Suid-Afrika se nommer 1 ultramarathon uithou ritruiter, Naomi Muller. Dit beteken sy ry 160 km in een dag.
Okay guys, so I hope that you all got that video. So I'm only going to play it up until there because the questions are only going up until there. The video is 10 minutes long and we don't have too much time to then listen to 10 minutes and then do the questions and then 10 minutes again. So I hope you all got that. Let's quickly look at the questions. Please take a picture of the questions quickly. And then I'll quickly discuss it with you and we'll listen to the video again. Take a picture. I'm giving you 2 seconds. All right, so the first question is, in watter area lê Teslaasdal? So, Sham Onka, okay, can you just give me an indication if you're fine now? Can you hear me? So that I can just see. Yeah, Onka, please just give me an indication if you're okay. Luckily, I'm going to play the video 2 times still, so hopefully you'll get the information. All right, so in watter area lê Teslaasdal? So you must listen to where in between what area or towns does Teslaasdal lie, and then wat bly nie regtig in Teslaasdal nie. So they're making a joke in the beginning of the video, saying that there's 2 things that does not really live in Teslaasdal. Then, what type of winkels is there in the dorpie? What types of shops is there in the town? 4, hoeveel inwoners het Teslaasdal? How many people lives there? 5, watter geskiedenis probeer Joy Paulson bewaar? What history is Joy Paulson trying to keep safe there? Number 6, noem een van die plase wat Johannes Jacobus Tesselai van wat hy gehad het. Okay guys, what farms did he have? So they named 2 farms, you can only name 1. 7, watter bewys het hulle dat slawe daar begrawe is? So there's proof that there was slaves there in the past. Now you wouldn't have seen this. One of them is that she actually picked up a chain that they used back in those days to put on slaves. But that's not really, you don't have to give that answer as such. There's something that you had to listen to. Then, nummer 7, of nummer 8. Wanneer was die kerk in Teslaasdal gebou? When was the church built in that town? Nommer 9, wie vind vrede in die klein dorpie soos Tesla staan? What people goes there for peace and quiet? And then number 10, waarvan word die ongewone huis gebou? Then they speak about a little house that's built there. Was in the last part of the video that I showed you, and I want to know from what do they build that house? So you can just quickly listen to that. So I'm going to just give me an indication. Are you all fine? Did you get pictures? Can I go to the video again? Just want to see yes, please. If you're okay, can I go on to the video again? Yeah, foto vat. Okay, so I hear. Okay, so Boole said yes. Anyone else? Okay, so then I'm going on. I'm sure that then there is that you guys are fine. Okay, so let's then go to the video again. Enjoy.
Tussen Caledon, Napier en Hermanus rus 'n dorpie so sag op die oog dat ons sy naam wil fluister. In die regte wêreld maak Teslaasdal deel van die Teewaterskloof area in die Oeverberg uit. En bly daar nie regtig kabouters of vietjies nie. Wel, nie wat ons gesien het nie.
Die dorpie is so weggesteek dat dit op party landskaarte glad nie eens verskyn nie. Maar ek durf in elk geval vandag die grondpaaie in Teslaasdal aan om uit te vind wie en wat hier wegkruip.
Die area is 'n opkomende wyn, olyf en laventelbosstreek en die dorpie het net 'n klein winkeltjie vir basiese noodsaaklikhede en 'n drankwinkel. Met slegs sowat 2000 inwoners is hier meestal skaars 'n beroering te bespeur. Tog is dit naweke effe meer besig omdat dit deel van die Cape Country meander is, wat al hoe meer besoekers hier langs lei. Joy Paulsen is in die dorp gebore en getoe en beywer haar om die interessante slawegeskiedenis te bewaar.
Joy, Teslaasdal is vernoem na 'n Nederlandse settelaar. Wie was hierdie man?
Hy was Johannes Jacobus Teslaar. En hy is gebore 1748 en hy was 'n luitenant in die Kaapse Korps en as beloning het hulle vir hom 2 plase gegee, Hartbeesrivier en Steenboksrivier.
Teslaar word beskou as die eerste grondbaron van die Oeverberg. Hy en sy vrou Alida was kinderloos en het die plaas Hartbeesrivier aan hul slawe nagelaat. Steenboksrivier is deur Johannes se broerskinders geërf. Joy het Charlene intussen geneem na 'n 1861 slawegraf.
Hoe het julle geweet dat dit die grafte van slawe is?
Want die slawe het geleef en gewerk in daai tyd in die 1861. By die graf het ek dit gevind en dit is die kettinge. Hierdie is 'n goeie bewys wat ek vir jou gee dat dit wel slawe was wat hier is.
Joy maak seker dat die begrafplaas netjies bly en so word geskiedenis bewaar. Met die vestiging van 'n poskantoor in 1930 het die plaas Hartbeesrivier Teslaasdal geword. Charlene is nou by die St. Barnabas Afrikaanse kerk wat een van 9 kapelle in die groter gemeente is. Hul moederkerk, die Holy Trinity, is in Caledon.
Dit is so 'n mooi kerkie, maar ek sien dat daar oor jou skouer die kerkklok. Dis 'n ongewone plek vir 'n klok om te sit.
Ja, kyk, die kerk is in 1939 gebou hier en die mense het nie eintlik die gereedskap gehad om die kerkklok op 'n gewone plek te sit nie. Hier was nou nie 'n aparte toring nie en toe het hulle nou sommer maar daar gesit waar dit nou is.
Die oorspronklike bankies van Amerikaanse greinhout dien steeds as sitplek vir die sowat 70 lidmate wat Sondag hier erediens hou.
Saline het 'n afskrif van die diens wat in 1939 gehou was om die kerk in te huldig.
Ek sien dit is geopen deur die aartsbiskop van Kaapstad.
Ja, die was in die 1939, 11 Junie. En my ma was ook nog teenwoordig by daardie diens en sy het vir ons vertel hoe wonderlik was dit geweest daardie dag om hulle eie kerkie te hê.
Behalwe 'n nuwe orgel wat in die 80's van die Middleton gemeente gekom het, is die enigste verandering in die kerk die verkryging van 'n altaar. Dorpies soos Teslaasdal word dikwels 'n plek waar stadsbewoners kom vrede vind, veral oor naweke. Charlene is op pad na die huis van Bonnie Jewel. Sy het as rekenaartegnoloog gewerk voordat sy hierheen getrek het. In 2004 het sy haar eie unieke huis begin bou deur van strooiklei gebruik te maak.
Is jy besig om klei te trap?
Ja, die sand en die klei en strooi en water.
So dis die mengsel waarmee jy bou.
Ja, die klei komt van net achter hier zo. En die sand is van die pad af. En die kalk ook. En die water is van die dam af. En die strooi is van die boeren hier zo nabij. En dan heeft ons ook die palen om die structuur in te zetten. En dan bouw ons dit rond die palen in. Tussen die palen ook. Het wordt zo hard als cement. En dan zetten ons ook die bouwkalk op. Zodat die water niet het weg was niet.
Waarvoor staan hierdie B? Bonnie's Place.
Nee, bierboot. Jy moet net wees.
Ek het nou baie lekker gespeel, Bonnie, maar ek gaan jou nou toelaat om net te wees in jou huis.
Strooiklei reguleer temperatuur goed. Dit beteken die huis is warm in die winter en koel in die somer. Strooiklei is vuurvas, goedkoop, ekologies vriendelik en reeds in prehistoriese tye gebruik vir konstruksiewerk. Teslaasdal is ook die tuiste van Suid-Afrika se nommer 1
Okay, guys, and let's look at the questions again. So I hope you all got that. I see most of you are still here. Hey, Princess, you joined. Okay. Okay, so you were supposed to make notes at that stage. So I'm going to go through the questions again. Then for a last time, we watch the video and then you're going to start answering the questions. So is there any one of the questions that you would like me to translate to you quickly before we go on? Because this is the last time I'm going through the questions. Okay, number 1. In watter area lê Teslaasdal? Okay, Princess, I'll go through each and every one of you. So number 1, in what area is Teslaasdal? So they mentioned 2 or 3 towns in between where Teslaasdal is surrounded by. So listen to those towns. Number 2, wat bly nie regtig in Teslaasdal nie? They named 2 things as a joke, which doesn't really exist in Teslaasdal. Number 3, what type of shops is in the town? There's 2 shops in the town. What type of shops are these? Number 4, how many people lives in Teslaasdal? Number 5, what history is Joy Paulson trying to keep safe there? I'm just going to repeat it again. What history is Joy Paulson trying to keep safe there? Number 6, please name one of the farms that Johannes Jacobus Teslaar owned. So they named 2, name one of them. The farms that was owned by Johannes Jacobus Teslaar. Nummer 7, watter bewys het hulle dat slawe daar begrawe is? So what was the proof that there were slaves there before? Then, number 8, wanneer was die kerk gebou? When did they build the church and what year? 9, who goes to a small town like Teslaasdal to find peace? Who usually goes to small towns like Teslaasdal to find peace and quiet? And number 10, at the last part, they go to a woman's house and they build the house out of something. What do they use to build that house? Okay, and now for the last time, here is the video.
Manus rus 'n dorpie so sag op die oog dat ons sy naam in die berge berge tussen Caledon, Napier en Hermanus rus 'n dorpie so sag op die oog dat ons sy naam wil fluister. In die regte wêreld maak Teslaasdal deel van die Teewaterskloof area in die Oeverberg uit. En bly daar nie regtig kabouters of voetjies nie. Wel, nie wat ons gesien het nie.
Die dorpie is so weggesteek dat dit op party landskaarte glad nie eens verskyn nie. Maar ek durf in elk geval vandag die grondpaaie in Teslaasdal aan om uit te vind wie en wat hier wegkruip.
Die area is 'n opkomende wyn, olyf en laventelbosstreek en die dorpie het net 'n klein winkeltjie vir basiese noodsaaklikhede en 'n drankwinkel. Met slegs sowat 2000 inwoners is hier meestal skaars 'n beroering te bespeur. Tog is dit naweke effe meer besig omdat dit deel van die Cape Country meander is, wat al hoe meer besoekers hierlangs lei. Joy Paulsen is in die dorp gebore en getoe en beywer haar om die interessante slawegeskiedenis te bewaar.
Joy, Teslaasdal is vernoem na 'n Nederlandse settelaar. Wie was hierdie man?
Hy was Johannes Jacobus Teslaar. En hy is gebore 1748 en hy was 'n luitenant in die Kaapse Korps en as beloning het hulle vir hom 2 plase gegee, Hartbeesrivier en Steenboksrivier.
Teslaar word beskou as die eerste grondbaron van die Oeverberg. Hy en sy vrou Alida was kinderloos en het die plaas Hartbeesrivier aan hul slawe nagelaat. Steenboksrivier is deur Johannes se broerskinders geërf. Joy het Charlene intussen geneem na 'n 1861 slawegraf.
Hoe het julle geweet dat dit die grafte van slawe is?
Want die slawe het geleef en gewerk in daai tyd in die 1861. By die graf het ek dit gevind en dit is die kettinge. Hierdie is 'n goeie bewys wat ek vir jou gee dat dit wel slawe was wat hier is.
Joy maak seker dat die begrafplaas netjies bly en so word geskiedenis bewaar. Met die vestiging van 'n poskantoor in 1930 het die plaas Hartbeesrivier Teslaasdal geword. Charlene is nou by die St. Barnabas Afrikaanse kerk wat een van 9 kapelle in die groter gemeente is. Hul moederkerk, die Holy Trinity, is in Caledon.
Dit is so 'n mooi kerkie, maar ek sien nou daar oor jou skouer die kerkklok. Dis 'n ongewone plek vir 'n klok om te sit.
Ja, kyk, die kerk is in 1939 gebou hier en die mense het nie eintlik die gereedskap gehad om die kerkklok op 'n gewone plek te sit nie. Hier was nou nie aparte toring nie en toe het hulle nou sommer maar daar gesit waar dit nou is.
Die oorspronklike bankies van Amerikaanse greinhout dien steeds as sitplek vir die sowat 70 lidmate wat Sondag hier erediens hou.
Saline het ek 'n afskrif van die diens wat in 1939 gehou was om die kerk in te huldig.
Ek sien dit is geopen deur die aartsbiskop van Kaapstad.
Ja, die was in die 1939, 11 Junie. En my ma was ook nog teenwoordig by daardie diens en sy het vir ons vertel hoe wonderlik was dit geweest daardie dag om hulle eie kerkie te hê.
Behalwe 'n nuwe orgel wat in die 80's van die Middelton gemeente gekom het, is die enigste verandering in die kerk die verkryging van 'n altaar. Dorpies soos Teslaasdal word dikwels 'n plek waar stadsbewoners kom vrede vind, veral oor naweke. Charlene is op pad na die huis van Bonnie Jewel. Sy het as rekenaartegnoloog gewerk voordat sy hierheen getrek het. In 2004 het sy haar eie unieke huis begin bou deur van strooiklei gebruik te maak.
Is jy besig om klei te trap?
Ja, die sand en die klei en strooi en water.
So dis die mengsel waarmee jy bou.
Ja, die klei kom van net agter hierso en die sand is van die pad af en die kalk ook en die water is van die dam af en die strooi is van die boere hierso naby. En dan het ons ook die pale om die struktuur in te sit en dan bou ons dit rond die pale in. Tussen die pale ook. Het word so hard so cement en dan sit ons ook die bouwkalk op sodat die water nie dit weg was nie.
Waarvoor staan hierdie B? Bonnie's Place.
Nee, beerbout. Jy moet net wees.
Ek het nou baie lekker gespeel, Bonnie, maar ek gaan jou nou toelaat om net te wees in jou huis.
Strooiklei reguleer temperatuur goed. Dit beteken die huis is warm in die winter en koel in die somer. Strooiklei is vuurvas, goedkoop, ekologies vriendelik en reeds in prehistoriese tye gebruik vir konstruksiewerk. Teslaasdal is ook die tuiste.
Okay guys, so it's time to answer the questions. Please don't worry if you couldn't get all of them. So can you perhaps tell me me just then see here, in what area, what town surrounds Tesselaarstaal? They name a few. What towns surrounds Tesselaarstaal? Okay, so we've got an answer here from Onka, okay. Kalidonga, yes, so it is, so you're correct, it's a Caledon. So look here, tussen Caledon, Napier en Hermanus in die Oeverberg. Okay, so there it is. Number 2, wat bly nie regtig in Tesselaarstaal nie? There's 2 things that they name as a joke that doesn't really exist in Tesselaarstaal. What is that? Let's see who can answer that. Okay, guys. So they joke and they say that there's no fietjies and kabouters, so there's not any fairies and kabouters living there. Number 3, 2 towns in the town. 2 shops in the town. What 2 towns is in the town? What 2 shops is in the town? Sorry for that. They name 2 towns. Shops, guys. I'm going to do this the entire time. 2 shops in the town. What is those? What are those? Okay, so there is a tronk, yes. Anyone else? Guys, so any other shops? There's 2. Guys, think of a small town. Do you think they've got a mall there and a Woolworths and stuff like that? Or do you think they've got a small shop that's got a few things? Let's try, guys. Okay, so Onka says a klein winkel. Ja, dis korrek. And then another thing. We always joke and say, there's always 3 things that a small town have. It's always got a liquor shop, it's always got a church, and it's always got a post office. So the other one is a liquor shop. Okay, 'n klein winkeltjie vir basiese noodsaaklikhede en 'n drankwinkel. The next one, how many people lives in Tesselaarstaal? How many people lives in Tesselaarstaal? Oh my goodness, guys. 3 times you listen to this. I'm sure that you should have got to this one. How many people? It's not just Onka in class. Okay, so it's around about 2,000 people lives in Tesselaarstaal. Okay, this one is quite an easy one. Joy Paulson, the lady that spoke to the presenter, she's trying to bewaar geskiedenis daar. What history is she trying to keep safe there? What history is she trying to keep safe there and encourage people to listen? Okay, Onka, yes, the history of slawe. So then the next one, noem een van die plase wat Johannes Tesselaar besit het. Okay, so they named 2 farms, which you can name only one of them, it's fine. Anyone? Guys, I see we're going to have to do a listening test again later this year because it seems like some of you didn't listen. So thank you, Onka. It's Hartebeesrivier en Steenboksrivier. Number 7, wat het bewys het hulle dat slawe daar begrawe is? So they, what proof is there that there was slaves there? What proof? Okay, so Kai said change, correct. Princess said change, and then of course also there was a graf van 'n slaaf. And you didn't have to mention this, but I just put it in. So in 1961, no, 1861, sorry, there was slaves that worked in the area. So it's 1861. And then, wanneer was die kerk in Tesselaarsdal gebou? When was the church built? What year? What year was the church built? Correct, Onka, 1939. And then who goes to that town every now and then to find peace and quiet? Think about it, guys. It's actually quite obvious. Who would go to towns like that to rest? Okay, guys, I'm going to go on. So it's stadsbewoners, so people that come to the town to rest. It's people from the city. And then, waarvan word die huis gebou waarvan hulle praat? So there is a house that they built at the end of the video. From what do they build that house? Stroklei, correct, Onka. All right, guys. What did we learn about Tesselaarsdal in this video, or in this listening comprehension? What did we learn? I, for instance, learned that it's a very, very small town. I'm thinking there cannot be internet. I'm wondering. I think it's really a peaceful town. And to me, it's amazing that they try to actually beware or to keep safe the history of the town. That's very good. Okay, so Klein town, no connection. Yeah. Okay, guys, listen to me. I'm definitely going to repeat this listening comprehension test later this year. I'll put another video in there, but we must really focus on listening tests. So please, please, please focus on that. Maybe later this year we'll do that again. Okay, Princess says it is a little town with many nice things to do. Absolutely. Okay, keep safe, masks on, sanitize your hands. I'll see you tomorrow. Very important lesson tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys.